Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right, and welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
That's right.
Smooth Jay here.
Yeah, I'm right on here to the side. One of the things I want to make you say is I don't want to mention no R&B no more because we took that off the dope. That's right. Starting today, that's off the dope.
Yes.
Disposal services for you.
Okay.
So again, when you need your garbage taken care of, please make sure you go to my website. Even though you still see R&B, all that stuff is changing. One of the things that didn't change is me, and I'm gonna change the game by what I like to do, and that's service.
Yes.
So give us a call.
Yes.
We're gonna make sure service is taken care of, and you're gonna not be worried about that other situation.
Right.
But besides that, who I got next to me right now, and I've been having them with me since I started this. Craftmatic in the building. How you doing, big baby?
Man, I'm doing lovely tonight. Lovely, right? That means everything is just working together for good. Right?
Fabulous.
Yeah, life is good. Listen, I'm grinding, bro. I'm working hard. I'm putting in the hours. I'm making the phone calls. I'm lining things up. I'm planning. First quarter has been a massive first quarter for 2019 for me. Just a lot of come up, a lot of getting laser focused, putting my systems and my processes in place so that life gets on cruise control for me. And man, just fired up, man. Just fired up, bro. How you doing,
man? I'm loving the energy and you're fired up. And guess what? Same here.
Same here, huh?
Started with one company, changed that bad boy over, got it flipped to something else, and then of course the show trying to take it to the whole new levels, but again keeping it informative, keeping it positive, and keeping it exactly how I envision.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's not an easy thing to do, but the loveliest thing is the people I work with.
Absolutely.
You, Barbara, and all the people that's outside of the studio.
Right.
You know, right now AP's on the outside, but she's still on the end with us.
Right.
I mean, she do her thing.
Right.
TR380, everybody that I might miss, from Jeffrey to Jamal to everybody that add value to this show, from my heart, I promise you, I love you.
Yeah, man.
You just don't know how much.
Yeah, and to add to that, for all you folks who are joining us tonight, we love you too. This is Bar Talk. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
Trying to be smooth.
What we try to do is inspire through dialogue. And every week we come up with these really unique topics, and we just go in on the topic, hoping that it'll give you a chance to hear somebody else's opinion, somebody else's story, and reflect it on your own life so you can be a better decision maker. You can get more laser focused in your life. You can communicate better. There's so many different valuable lessons that come out of this dialogue. So we just thank you for being here with us, and we got a great show lined up for you tonight. We always start the show off with a prayer. And would you like to get it started tonight?
You always ask me, man, but I'm trying to get everybody to donate. That's right, Bar Talk with Jay, Cash App, that's right. So I'm going to let you go ahead and help them out, because again, right now a lot of people are hurting.
Okay.
A lot of people are hurting.
A lot of people are hurting.
So reach who you can.
Yeah, a lot of people are hurting. I got a message for this prayer, and so let's just close our eyes and open the doorway of our hearts and minds to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we come into your presence right now, thanking you for your grace and your mercy and all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We do not take any of those for granted, and we just thank you, Father, for tonight. And I ask tonight especially, Lord, for those who are going through hard times, that you would open doors. You are a door opener, Heavenly Father, and we know that whatever the challenge or concern or problem may be in those who are listening to this word right now, may the doors of opportunity be open wider and greater than we could ever imagine for our own selves. May you go beyond the expectations of the individual and bring a blessing beyond their imagination. More blessings. Just pour out a blessing, Father, that they do not have room to receive. Let them receive it right now. We thank you for this awesome program tonight. We thank you for all that you are in our lives, and we know that it is already fantastic. We pray this in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen,
amen. Amen, amen. Woo! Man, I always have to reel myself back in from prayer.
I see.
Yeah, I got.
I'm about to go in there and reach for $1 myself.
Yeah. When I'm by myself, man, I go hard for 30, 40 minutes. Okay. Just go in on the paint. So, I love the Lord, and boy, he does so many wonderful things for me. If you don't know the Lord, call in or something and just tell me that you need some knowledge about Him, and I'll send a prayer to the Lord for him to come see you. Because he can work things out.
Obviously, Kraft is an agent of the Lord.
I am an agent of the Lord. Yes, sir. Indeed, I am. So let's kick this show off like we always do, talking about last week's topic. Last week's topic was, let's talk about technology.
Ooh.
Social media, cell phones, GPS, etc. How do they influence our lives?
Man, I think they impact our lives in a lot of positive ways, and the negatives just gonna come along with everything.
Everything, yeah.
But a lot of times the positive is if you use it in the right way, it can catapult you.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of times, a lot of people are scared of technology, and I really feel like you gotta embrace what you might be scared of, because it can really help you. It don't always handicap you. But then again, I see a lot of people say, well, kids today are handicapped because so much technology is right at their fingertips. Just make sure they still keep the fundamentals. And I think that's not always totally true.
Right.
Because again, we need to use this technology because again, Google can change the whole world if you really start investigating what you're hearing.
Yes.
Social media has not been very honest with us from the beginning.
That's powerful.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not even saying nothing more because we're on social media, but everything that's being put out is not for what it really should be. It's to lead you, okay? Led to fed.
Right.
And my whole thing is, if somebody feeding you something that you don't need to be eating and leading you down a path you don't need to be, you need to recognize, Google, research, and find out for yourself, and you might change course. I really feel like a lot of us has been bamboozled. This is early on, and even now. You know, TV is put things in our head, and the bottom line, we need to make sure we are factual. I like to say a lot of things are myth.
Yes.
Can you get facts behind the things that you say? I had a men's meeting. We was going over a lot of different things about karma. And a lot of people feel, reap what you sow, that's like karma. Truthfully, karma did not come from that. Okay? That's more of like whatever you do in this life, karma is going to catch up with you in your next life.
Okay.
That's spiritual. That's totally different from reap what you sow. Reap what you sow is your harvest.
Right.
With work you put in.
Right.
But we starting to intertwine things, and you starting to confuse by your own wording because you're not researching. I really say let's dig back and get a hold of technology. Look at it and use it in what ways you need to, because again, that ain't for everybody.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But man, for the ones that excel in it, let them make their riches.
Yeah.
It's changing the game, and it ain't about color.
Yeah.
It's the ones that's willing to understand it. It's catapulting.
Man, that's powerful, bro. That's powerful. You know, I think of it in this way. There is the truth, and then there is dreams sold about the truth. Technology can divide the two. Technology can put you on what's real and what's not real. It'll put you on what's right and what's wrong. It's not saying that it's the end all be all, but technology is really a blueprint or an imprint of mankind's history. And if you want to know anything about how a man, if he does X, you know, will he get Y? Right? Yeah, and all the fields of human endeavor in human history are the history of it is sitting right there in technology and the web and learning how to use the tools. There's just so much information, and that's what technology does. Is it increases the amount of information and the analysis of information so that you can get to the root of things, right? It makes things faster, it makes things easier. And one of the things that came out of last week's show is that in this new era of technology, we are always watched. We are always on a camera. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, you are always on a camera. If you think that you pull into a little mom and pop convenience store and maybe you end up having to use the restroom and go around the side of the building and you know you go around there and do your thing, that you are always watched. You are just about accounted for everywhere you go. And with the cell phone in your back pocket or in your purse, you potentially are tracked every single moment of every day. There probably is a task force to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that they come get you, and they come, you know, they can start messing with you. I think that's what's part of what is happening in the world. This new world order, technology has allowed us to all become, you know, we're all kind of numbers in the system, and we're all tracked for our live performances. And to so much degree. Brother Jeffrey called it the digital divide, you know.
Definitely can be.
And, you know, I think phones also, technology has also diminished our ability. We're losing communication skills. Let's say it that way. We're losing communication. We're losing the ability to relate to real people because we use technology so much. You know, we don't understand how real communication looks when we're always communicating through email and text messages and emojis, and we send a lot of messages out that way. And when it's time to get in front of somebody, you know, you may not know how to share the words or the facial expressions or the body language, how real communication happens. And so, yeah, our world is losing connectivity, and that's real important. GPS obviously has made it easier for us to navigate throughout the world. You can find small businesses on GPS, and you can go to them. I see grandmamas and grandpas coming to our dealership from the other side of town, don't know where they are, but they followed that GPS and they got there. So it's really made business very dynamic in the way of shoppers. Not only can they buy products online, services from online, they can also get to those businesses and know exactly where they're located, what side of town, and what their hours are, and what their reviews are. Technology has just improved the quality of our life so much, but we can't forget the purpose of technology is for humanity. It's for the betterment of humanity, not to take anything away. So it was a fabulous show, and we'd love you folks to take a look at it. We're all over the internet, bartalkwithjay.com, of course, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, iTunes.
Go ahead, meet me.
Okay, meet me. Yeah.
Man, we're on a little bit of everything, man. Even Instagram.
Yeah.
We try to hit everything. Periscope. We're trying to hit every platform we can because again, when I hear the meet me, it's not to scare you about the dating. The dating sites need to understand what we do too. One of the things we try to do is make a better relationship with the ones out there trying to date, because again, it's different if you're older compared to if you're younger, because the younger seem to be doing their own thing. We ain't hating. They got a lot of stuff out there already for them. But I want to just reel the gap in and make sure we have a clear understanding of what's going on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Planet, MySpace, Craigslist,
Craigslist.
Offer Up, Let Go. Anything that I can find ourselves, I'm trying to put us there, and it's not to play. It is to make sure when you look, you find.
Well, that's again, I've always said, man, that's the genius in your efforts, is that you are making sure you put yourself on all the platforms. And so if you got a business, you're trying to do something big, hey, take Jay's advice, get yourself out there on all these different platforms, because you never know, what people like. And so if you're in front of where they are, then you'll find yourself being seen, viewed, and hopefully communicated with by those customers. Let's move on to a quote for the week. This is going to be an interesting show. We got 5 minutes. We're going to take a break in exactly 5 minutes.
Okay.
And tonight's entire agenda is really about building one's self.
Okay.
And there's a lot that goes into building oneself, but there's some things that we got to do, and we got some understandings we have to have in order to even begin the process of building ourselves. All right. So let me start with Barb's quote tonight, and thank you so much, Barb, making Georgia in the house, doing big things. This is fabulous. Our quote for the week says, "From the very beginning, we have been told how we should be. Accepting yourself as you are is the most difficult thing in the world, because it goes against our training and education and culture. No one has ever told us that we are good as we are."
Wow. Now, I'm going to tell you, she hit it home.
She hit it home.
Really home, because a lot of times when you start hearing about so many different religions, so many different things, you lose self.
You lose self.
And a lot of times, and I'm saying in relationships, when I tell people walk away from somebody, is make sure you understand yourself. Don't lose yourself within somebody.
That's exactly right.
So when somebody walk away, I don't get offended.
Right.
My whole thing is I respect that, because when you walk away, I respect you from afar just like a near.
Right.
But my whole thing is I know you still hold you close.
Right.
Because when you lose yourself in somebody, there's no gaining you back.
Or something. Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
There's no gaining you. I want to keep you whole. Because you are a powerful being.
Yes.
And I don't feel like no one should take that light away from you ever. You should always shine. I don't care if it's a shadow, because his light is brighter. You still have relevance.
Right.
And I really feel like sometimes I'm just a shadow.
Right.
That's for a moment.
Absolutely.
Because when he steps to the side, you will shine bright.
Right.
But when you stop shining, that's when you're irrelevant.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
This is also a kind of a note in individuality. Right? Like, can you be an individual in the midst of the group? There's nothing wrong with being a team, but the team doesn't function if it doesn't function by way of individuals, right? And if I can't accept myself, then I'm pretty much always just a follower, right? I'm never going to be a leader by trying to promote other people's ideas or promote other people. I have to begin to accept myself as I am. And it says here, it's a very difficult thing, and it's the most difficult thing in the world to do, is accept yourself, because everybody else wants you to be something else. They want you to be more opinionated. They want you to be less opinionated. They want you to be, more real. They want you to be less real. They want you to be more giving. They want you to be less giving. Everybody's got an expectation of you. And if who you are is always pulled at by what they want and they expect, you're not being who you are. You're being who the world wants you to be. And anytime you are attempting to be what the world wants you to be, you're going to lose. Because you're going to reach a point where you're empty. Right? And that emptiness, it starts depression and all kinds of stuff. Right? Being what the world wants you to be doesn't work. You have to be who you want to be and who you believe that you are. And that's where all the great leaders come from. They come from a mindset that I am who I am, and I believe what I believe, and I'm not going to let the world change my belief, because what I believe I've proven it, or it just feels right, or whatever the case may be. They stand on their own principles. Right. And not to say that our government is really working, but, it's done a pretty damn good job, so I'm not going to beat up our government per se, even though we got some challenges right now. But the world our government couldn't work without individualized opinions about health and childhood and raising and families and cities and communities and transportation, that everybody's got these great opinions, and those dreams being sold betters our world. So we have to have actualized people, right? Now, quickly, I think it's important that we all realize that we are children of God.
Okay.
And when you realize that you are a child of God, you no longer beat yourself up, because you know that God always loves you. That's correct. Right? But if you don't have a faith behind you, then you don't have the thought process, the mind-triggering thought process to seat your spirit as comfortable as I have seated my spirit, knowing that God is my Father, right? So if you're not of the faith and you don't believe in Christ, and you don't, you're not a Christian, or you don't have, whatever your belief system is, it'll work if you'll just activate it, right? Believe that you are a child of God, and when you believe that you are a child of God, it'll help you accept yourself. It'll help you believe in who you are, right? We have to know who we are in the eyes of God. Because if we know who we are only in ourselves, then we'll beat ourselves up. We'll doubt ourselves, and we'll remember all the bad stuff we did, and we'll think that we're bad people. But if we remember who we are in the eyes of God, we can always be renewed and refreshed. So it's a very powerful idea. It lends itself to our topic for tonight, which I'll go ahead and bring forth. And then I got one other segment I'd like to cover later on in the show. But let's move into tonight's topic. Did you have a comment on any of that, Jay?
Man, hell no. You covered that, bro.
I mean,
you went in so deep, I was going in for my other dollar.
Yeah. Okay. So, tonight's topic is, how can we heal our minds, bodies, and souls if we are addicted to what makes us sick?
Whoa! Oh, I can't wait to get in on that one. Man.
Man.
Somebody must be talking about me.
Yeah, that's
you better recognize.
And what makes that so powerful, man, without going in, is that if you are addicted to something that makes you sick, you have, your words, lost yourself.
All day long.
You can't accept yourself at that point, and that's where the tie-in comes. So we got a great show lined up. You folks stay tuned. We're going to be right back. More Bar Talk with Jam.
Remember a couple things. One, I got to miss a birthday party this weekend. I got to travel. One of the things I got to say, man, with this new venture that I'm getting into, I got to go out of town a lot. New conventions. I'm liking that too. Yes. I got conventions. I got to do a lot of different things, man. So some parties out there this weekend I'm not going to be able to attend. I do apologize because my inbox is blowing up with people's parties. They're inviting us out. Craft, I got to start sharing some of this with you. Because you might be more available to go than I am. I'm getting packed up, booked up. Right. But please, to everybody, keep on DMing me. We're going to try to make it out to what parties we can. I like to share my love, my fun. I like, the little banghead bounce with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Show my age and stuff. But we're doing big things and we're going to have more fun. But guess what? This is just the lead up to that person that look like him, that's not him, that's on the phones today. Jamal, how you doing, big baby?
Man, with intros like that, it can't be nothing but a good day, man. What's happening to A? What's happening to Craft? What's happening to Bone? What's happening to Rock? Man, what's happening?
Man, what's happening? Listen, we holding it down over here strong, man. We holding it down strong. How's life treating you, my friend?
Life is treating me good. I'm actually doing a whole body transformation. I'm getting summertime ready. Just left the gym working out.
Right.
I promise you, this summer, I don't know if I'm going to have a shirt on or if it's just going to be tank top. It's going to be one or the other.
Right.
But I know I'm going to be ready for it, though. I'm going to have my options.
Right.
For this workout season.
Yeah, you know what? You just inspired me a little bit more, man. I got to get these arms together, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that inspiration, man.
Get ready, man. It's hunting season. When the summertime come out, and in Georgia they wear them summer dresses.
Yes, sir.
It's just nothing but temptation and ammunition down south. So I know my arms and my abs and my chest. Don't ask me about the leg work yet. I ain't all the way at the leg work. Yeah. Right now I might be a little bit top heavy, but the arms, the abs, and the chest gonna be on point though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, some drop jeans will get you through until you get to the bedroom. Hey, you can't be protected after you get to the bedroom.
Like them skinny legs.
Maybe legs won't matter.
If you done made it to the bedroom, I'm already halfway there. I ain't worried about nothing else. God bless me. My daddy blessed me.
Right.
So I'm good in that area.
Oh,
let me get the arms and the chest, and I'll work out the rest.
Okay. I like that, man. I like that. You got something for the audience tonight, man? What's on your mind?
Man, cornballs. You know what? Honestly, we done gave y'all so much game. It's almost repetitive to keep coming. I almost need a female on the phone for a little bit of a challenge, because here, we done gave him so much game in all the conversations we had. Be honest with him. Keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Be who you are. Mm-hmm. Stay within your lane. Mm-hmm. Yes. Be a player. We kept giving the cornballs game. Dress to impress. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Get your ambition up. If you don't have no drive, you're going to lose it. Maybe pay attention. We keep saying these things to these dudes. So at this point, I might just have to drop something to these females. Oh, no, not even just to the females. Me and my cousin were having a conversation about the slave mentality in the islands. We were watching the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta new episode that just came out, and one of the girls, Spice, she decides she wants to bleach her skin and make herself lighter to be more accepted. And we really had a conversational debate, the slave mentality and appreciating the beauty of the chocolate skin.
Yes.
That Hershey's chocolate, that Dreadlocks chocolate, that Mother Earth Jill's got chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Keep it up.
Yes, man. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's something that, I don't know what it is about the slave mentality that makes us think that lighter is more beautiful. But women, if you only knew how I can't speak for every cornball out there because I ain't.
Right.
But for them other cornballs, go to hell.
Right.
Ain't nothing more beautiful.
Right.
Than a beautiful sister. No disrespect to no other race.
Yes.
I rock with my Puerto Ricans and my Cubans.
Yes.
A is in the group.
Yes.
But ain't nothing like a beautiful chocolate sister.
Yes.
My light skin ones, my pick and brown ones.
Yes.
Hey, y'all cute for the video. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all trophy people.
Yes.
Can't get impressed.
Yes.
But my down to earth sister, the darker you are, the longer we date. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Man, you're absolutely right, bro. That chocolate thing, and you do know that the black woman is the highest educated woman in the land, and so she is not only beautiful.
She's the strongest.
Yeah, she is not only beautiful in her chocolate attire, but she is highly intelligent and really not to be messed with.
She sounds delicious. I'm telling y'all, the way y'all describe her,
yeah.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, and she is delicious. That's what we try to say. Yeah, well, that's what we try to say. And anybody who's lived a little life already know. They can identify with it.
You remember school days? I know y'all remember school days.
Yeah.
It's something that, you remember Gina, look, first things first, in Martin and Gina, I wish Pam would have been Gina.
Ooh.
It's just that they didn't want the dark-skinned sister to get too much attention.
Right.
But Pam was finer than Gina to me.
All day.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, all day.
We hands down, more body, more face.
Beady.
I ain't even see the beady.
All day.
I just knew Pam was hitting on so many occasions.
Yes.
Yes. What is it? Even in the South still, it's the lighter the better, and I don't agree with that. I think there is something that's so powerful in the skin tone. There's the essence, there's that queen, there's that kingdom in the skin, and I appreciate it, and I just don't understand why dudes are leaving out the dark-skinned sisters. Like the young fool Kodak Black, this, as black as he is, disrespectful enough to say, I don't like girls darker than me. But you know that is your heritage. That is the queen. That is the motherland. You don't know that when you go downtown on a sister, you don't know what she might come back up with. You might come back with cherries and loves or Tony Gunn progression.
You wild.
I'm sorry.
You wild. You wild. Well, listen, I want to just share an opinion that seems to be very real in the world. Because sisters are so fine, and because sisters are so highly intelligent, they are very challenging to deal with sometimes. And it is not that we don't want a black woman. For those black men who cross over to the other races, it is not that we don't want a black woman, but we do find that black women are a little more challenging to deal with. And that's not right or wrong or different. That's just different. They're just different. They're a little more aggressive.
You're right. It's not right or wrong. It is different. But here's the thing, though, and I think this is the way my mama raised me. And Vaughn, I know this is the way your mama raised you. It takes a strong man to deal with a strong woman.
Right.
It takes a strong man to love a strong woman.
Right.
So if you're not strong enough to handle the queen of what she is, then brother, you might really do need to jump on to the next race.
Absolutely.
Because there is strength when you rock with a sister.
Yeah.
A sister will hold you up when you are down.
Yeah.
A sister will tell you to stay down when you feel yourself too much up. Like, hey, I'm sorry. Don't make me preach about a sister and the quality of her skin and the beauty of it, the golden complexion.
Yes.
Just in her the way that she speaks, it's the strength in her voice, it's the twitch in her walk, it's the stance in her presence.
All right.
Come on.
Preach. But listen.
You about to give me my doubt? You about to get my doubt?
I got a question for you. This is just a one question defense for all the men who can't quite stay on the chocolate side.
Okay.
Right? Have you ever had a black woman after your ass? Have you ever had a black woman trying to straighten you, tighten you up, put you on point, check you. Have you ever had a black woman in your face trying to correct you, trying to bring measure upon you? That ain't nothing fun to deal with. That ain't nothing to deal. That is different than any of the other races all put together. I promise you. Right?
But I tell you what, if you can stand up to it,
if you can stand up to
it, man, it'll change your whole damn life.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the thing about that. For as feisty and aggressive as a strong black woman is, don't it make you stronger?
Yes. If I'm interested in being stronger right now.
Hey, listen, if you just want to be weak and you want to tell Becky, hey, Becky, yes, you caught me cheating, shut up, you knew what it was when we got this. Hey, you could do that with Becky.
Right.
You could feel like Superman on 100 with Becky.
Right.
But your sister, Keisha, Tanya, Tiff,
she gonna mash you.
With the I at the end of the name, not know why. Tiffani apostrophe and the H is silent for no reason. Tiffany, you say that to her?
Yeah.
Who the heaven you think you talking to? Right. You know you got a black woman, the darker the skin woman, because she'll laugh at you to herself before she hits you with a response. Like she'll see you do some dumb stuff and go, this fool don't, this son of a, dude, this mother. And in her mind, she processing all the evil stuff. Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. It kind of turned me on a little bit more.
Yeah.
I love my sister.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. On
Facebook.
Facebook.
The only way I'm switching race is this little Cuban or Dominican or Puerto Rican.
Yeah. I
gotta have some fun.
Beautiful. I gotta have some fun. Crap. Go ahead.
On my page, on Bar Talk page, I put a post up. And a guy was telling this girl he's breaking up with her.
Right.
And she said, "What you think you're gonna be single for the next 3 days? That's not happening." He said, "No, I'm talking about permanent." Oh, won't you? She said, "Oh, you think you ain't breaking up with me? I will mess up everything you got going." I said, "I heard that before." They ain't playing. And she didn't leave. She got in the bed and let him know.
And you're not gonna leave her after she been with you when you was there.
That's it.
You know what? We're them old school 1950s, 1960s women that say, yeah, I found a number in your purse, but that's my man. Whatever you don't, that woman, I don't care how much you think you making. Where you going? I know you bringing your butt back. Yes, baby. I'll be back in the house in 15 minutes. I just went to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, she gonna make sure she holds you accountable.
Yeah.
She's not gonna let you get away with the wayside with the extra because she knew what she was there for. Okay. And she's not gonna build a man that far up to let him go off and tease the next chick.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I want my woman to fight for me as much as I'm gonna fight for her.
Now,
shout out to all my brown skinned chocolate sisters in the day. Let
me ask you this question, Brother Jamal. We got 2 minutes before it's time to go to break. Give me your opinion of how these chocolate sisters manage or deal with a real black man.
They appreciate it. I'm not, here's the thing, I'm not knocking light-skinned women in no type of way. I'm not knocking any complexion. However, I guess there's just this thing, when I look at a queen, the darker the skin, the brown, the golden, or sunlight bathing her, it's something about it that you can't find in another race. It's something about her strength you see, because I'm literally looking at the amount of people that will overlook the Kelly Rowland to get to the Beyonce, and I'm going, no. Do you not see the queen that was right there in the middle, that was uplifting and holding Beyonce up, and she could have hit her dance moves on stride? Did you see Kelly Rowland hitting up notes to look? It's strength in the dark-skinned woman.
Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is.
The fair-skinned woman, you cute for the garden. You cute. But you can't have that pretty flower until it come from the soil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta be, that root, it comes from the earth. And that skin that's so beautiful and brown and Hershey's chocolate for no reason.
For no reason.
All my beautiful sisters, I love y'all.
Man, I love how you big up the sisters, man. That's dynamic. That may deserve a round of applause tonight, because listen, there's not enough of that language. There's not enough of that message going on in the world. And when we, as black men, push our sisters up, when we raise them up, when we lift them up, that does nothing but just add value to the whole race and the whole culture and really the whole world, you know?
Okay, you know what? This is the message I give to the cornballs for real before we go, because I think we got about a minute and 15 seconds. Cornballs, listen. If you think the lighter the woman, the better she is, you're mistaken. Not all women are built the same. Not all women have the same mentality. Not all are nice. Not all are pushovers. But you better appreciate where you came from. If you look in the mirror and you see chocolate in your skin, then you appreciate the chocolate woman that you see next to you. Don't push her over for the paper bag brown. There is a mistake. That is the field nigga and the house nigga mentality that they try to teach is different. And if you understand, before you can get to the light skin, there's the original dark. And if you get to that woman, and you appreciate that woman, you might find a love that's different than you've ever known, because she'll go in them places with you emotionally and will stand by you like you've never seen. It's something about a dark-skinned woman. She is the definition of a rider, R-I-D-A-H. You appreciate that queen, and you tell her how beautiful she is, from the thickness in her lips to the texture in her hair. Baby, you don't need the process to straighten it out. I like your curls just the way they are. Put a flower in it. You look like a queen. Every dark-skinned woman tonight is going to know we appreciate you for exactly how you look, and you don't have to change a light we appreciate you. Cornballs will tell you different. We appreciate every dark-skinned, brown-skinned, Negro, cardboard box, bro. I appreciate every chocolate brown, redwood, bro. All of y'all sisters. I love it.
Listen, I got a new vision for chocolate women, and thanks to Jamal. It is time for us to go to break. You folks can see we are already on one. We'll be right back.
Man, you're doing it.
Loving it, boy.
So one of the things that we got to wonder about is how this man's day was. Now, that's something strange, but I'm going to tell you, this is a person that can change your whole life in a sentence. That's right. That is this man that's about to come up next. That is my man, Jeffrey. How you doing, big baby?
Brother Jay, what it is, sir, what it is. What the class, what it is, what's going on, fellas?
Man, listen.
He sound a little excited.
Yeah, he sound a little excited tonight. Listen, everything is lovely over here, man. We are holding it down. Glad you could be with us tonight. How's life treating you, my friend?
Oh, man, you know, today was a chill day. You know, the weather, you know, was a little cool, but it warmed up a little bit. You know, the birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing, and the skirts are getting shorter. And with that said, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
It is time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man. That's why you might be single. But before we get into all that, here's my disclaimer.
Okay.
Now, see, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you, and if it doesn't apply to you, and I want you to put up in the shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them, because you're about to learn something tonight. Now, ladies, you go first. All right, ladies. Some of y'all are single because you suffer from the delusion of better options. See, you think the man that you got is good, but if he don't act like somebody else is better. You think that if your man don't do it, another man will. You think that if he ain't got it, you can get it from somewhere else. And you think you got everything you want outside of what you actually got. You suffer from destination envy. You're always looking for the next best thing instead of appreciating what you got. You got a man that put up with your old sorry ass. You got a man that actually deals with your stank attitude. You got a man that actually wants to be with you, and you sitting there thinking what this other man is going to give you. No, I need you to hear me, sister. I need you to hear me. You might think that he the problem. In reality, you lucky that he's sticking by you. And what I want you to understand that pretty soon he going to realize that he ain't got to put up with your stank attitude. and he gonna leave your ass single.
For a very long time. Man, this day at work wasn't that good. That right there, that was painful. That was, wow.
I mean, that's right on, though, man. Suffer from the delusion of better options. Destination envy. I love your big words, man. Your vocabulary kill me. Nasty attitude kill anything, right? And attitude of entitlement, just doesn't work. And the grass is almost never greener on the other side. Every once in a while, but almost never is it greener on the other side. It can become as green as you want it to be if you nourish what you got.
What I like about it though, Crab, is when you really think about it, you so quick to talk about the person you with that you ain't recognizing yourself. That's the problem with people today. I can find something better, but what about you?
Right.
Because you already think you put together. Yeah. But really, you ain't perfect.
You ain't perfect.
But you talking like you are perfect. Right. And I deserve something better. Ain't doing nothing. Ain't cleaning nothing. Ain't cooking. But complaining. Because that's what I see. Yeah. But what are you doing?
Right.
And then you wonder why he stuck around for a minute because he's seen the beauty. And then he didn't see nothing else. Ain't gonna take long to deflate.
There you go.
Nobody gonna support what ain't supporting themselves.
And I'll put a stamp on that, Smooth J. Back to you, Brother Jeffrey.
Next.
All right, fellas. Don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook. Fellas, you are next. All right, fellas, some of your asses are single simply because you bored as hell. I mean, you don't know what to do to keep your woman excited. You can't keep your woman guessing for shit. She know everything you're going to do. You're so predictable. Man, you don't even know how to turn your woman on and get the kitty purring before you even get home. You're just lame. You're just boring. You don't even know how to get your Mac Daddy on.
Right.
She got to do all the work to get in the mood because you don't know how to flip the switch and say, let's do this. Fellas, I need you to understand. You have to always keep your woman guessing. What is he going to do to me next? Where is he going to take me next? What is he going to make me wear next? Is he going to tie me up tonight? What is this brother going to do?
Right.
Because when you keep her guessing, the kitty keep on purring. And if the kid is keeping on purring, all you got to do is show up, my brother, and show out. But hell no, you boring. You think, come on, roll on over. Let me go ahead and tap that. Gonna work every night. I need you to understand, fellas. Switch that thing up on her. Yeah. Turn that thing up on her. Put some of that baby oil on her and smack her one time on that rib behind and say, hey, this is all mine. Hey, I just rhymed. But I need you to understand something, fellas. You can't be boring.
Right.
You can't be predictable.
Right.
Because when you're boring and predictable, she gets bored and predictable too.
Right.
And then some other dude comes on, his name is Dexter St. Jock. And all he do is just show up and smile and say, what the man do for your girls? And then your ass is sick.
For a very long time.
That's good. That's good. Fellas, you got to step it up. Boring does not work for a woman. It does not work for a woman. You got to change it up, stir it up a little bit, do your own little thing. And, that might not always just be in the bedroom. Sometimes the bedroom might be just what it is if you do what need to be done outside the bedroom. But boring does not work.
I would like to say a lot of times you get comfortable and you doing the same thing that you might have done with somebody else.
Right.
And that don't work with everybody.
Right.
So a lot of times you get confident because of the fact that you had somebody else all over a barrel and you think it worked with the one you with.
Right.
Pay attention. Because number one thing is like, switch up. Because don't ever think that you got a perfect formula.
Yeah.
Because formulas work good with a person, but when you change a person, the formula got to change too.
Right.
And a lot of times we get complacent. They're like, it worked. I know I'm good at this. But you just don't understand. Her interest ain't in that.
Right.
Hers changed because the person changed, right. But your method stayed the same.
Listen,
that's lame.
Jeffrey said it perfect. You got to keep them guessing.
That's right.
Keep them guessing. Now, this one's for the fellas saying, hey, you got to keep your lady guessing. But women, don't forget, you got to keep your man guessing too.
Come on. It works both ways.
It works both ways. I'm an advocate for all good, right? So with that, I'll turn it back over to Brother Jeffrey. Marvelous point, my friend.
Bring us together, player.
All right, now I want everybody to understand something. This is a rarity, but I don't agree with Brother Kraft here.
Okay.
I don't agree. Fellas, we have to take the point. Now I'm bringing it together right now. Fellas, we have to take the point.
Okay.
See, what happens when a woman suffers from destination envy is because we not filling everything up where she is. Women are naturally looking for something new. That's just the way they're wired. Yeah. Women don't get complacent or get happy with the same old thing. That's just the way they're wired. But when we do what we do to keep their motor going, to keep their energy going, she will bring her ass home. And not only will she bring her ass home, she will set it out. So when I tell you she'll set it out, it happens when we are on our job, and it goes back, man, to us taking the point. We got to take the point in our bedrooms, in our households, in our communities, so that our women can chill and do the things that they're specialists at. And when our women can chill and get to those things that they're specialists at, well, that just helps the children grow up in a more stable environment.
Right.
And when the children grow up in a more stable environment, they're not out here wilding in these damn streets. And when those streets calm down, we take back over our communities. And once we have our communities back in our own hands, well, there's some powerful changes going to happen in our country. And that's something folks actually are afraid of. Chuck D said it best. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. And it's no truer saying ever been said. But we can change that just by talking, walking, and loving on each other. And that's all I got.
Man, that was lovely.
That's everything right
there. Lovely right
that's
there.
A whole mouthful.
Man.
And listen, I love the words you use. It is our job to fill her up, to fill up those spaces, right? And take the point. I receive that in every measure.
Responsibility.
Take the point and lead your lady. And by leading her, you'll let her specialty come out. I love that thought process, man. That's just, that's right on point.
You did that.
Yeah, you did that, man. Listen, tonight, Jeffrey, we're talking about how can we heal our minds, bodies, and souls if we are addicted to what makes us sick. It's a self-development idea.
Oh man, you know, the understood that the fact of the matter is, if you are still addicted to what's making you sick, you are not ready to heal. Mm-hmm. Because quite frankly, now you're just addicted to making yourself sick. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to actually be putting that thing down and getting away from the thing and turning around and walking in a different direction to get yourself better. But it's something else to continue to say, man, I need to get in shape. Are you eating that cake? Completely different. Now, if you decide to do the work, then you're going to see some results. But if you keep sitting down eating that cake, you can't blame nobody but yourself. The thing that you do most will become the thing that you do best. So if you are constantly going back to the thing that's poisoning you, that's what you do best, poisoning your body.
Poison yourself.
But if you decide I'm going to put that down and I'm going to heal and I'm going to stay on that road and I'm going to get myself better, that becomes the thing that you do best. And then you'll be healing yourself.
Right.
So until you decide to start making healing yourself the best thing that you do, well, your ass ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's the mighty truth.
What? But you know how to knock people across the head with words.
I mean, talking about straight mallet.
Yeah.
You wake up with a headache. What happened? Jerry hit me. Jerry hit me hard, right in the back of the temple.
Right in the back of the temple, yeah. Listen, man, you always do such an explosive job for us, and we appreciate your wisdom and your words. Anything you'd like to share before we part tonight?
Man, you know, I was talking to a young lady the other night who asked her husband for a divorce. Mm. And after we talked for 5 minutes, she said, you know what? I'm actually the problem. My husband ain't the problem, I'm the problem.
Ooh.
Damn. And that self-realization and that self-actualization, that's going to help her turn her marriage around, because now she's not blaming anybody.
Right.
She's going to do what she needs to do to be better in the marriage, and that's what everybody has to do. You got to look at yourself first, improve the things that you can improve upon, focus on how you can make your mate happy, and then watch them start making you happy. And if they ain't doing that, Yeah, that you need to leave their ass single.
Leave their ass single. Oh,
I appreciate that, because the number one thing what I heard from that again is getting back to self.
Getting back to self.
You gotta get back to self, and a lot of times it's not about a person telling you; it's about getting you to understand yourself.
Right.
So, and I don't know how that can always happen, but Jeffrey has a powerful way of doing it. And again, that's why we bring him on the show, because again, I don't know where you at. But if we can shake you up and we can keep a marriage together, I'm happy for it. But if we can make sense of what you can't, then great.
Yeah.
Bottom line, we doing this for you. Are you willing to listen?
There you go. There you go. And so again, Brother Jeffrey, we thank you so much, man. And we'll look forward to speaking with you next week.
That's my dial.
Wonderful, fellas. Y'all take it easy, man.
Okay, all right, take care now.
What you got for
all right,
now,
folks. We are about to take another break, and
we going in there.
I mean, this show is so much incredible content.
That's what we do.
I mean, I just love the subjects and the dialogue that we have. I just don't hear it anywhere else in the world.
We do it.
And it's positive. It's therapeutic.
It's us.
It's just awesome, man. It's just awesome.
It's my therapy.
I love what we do. I hope you folks are loving what we do. We're going to be right back after this with more Bar Talk with Jay.
Motivational things. I hope it inspired you. Now it's back with me and my man Craftmatic. Woo, man!
What a show, man! I'm telling you, there's so much dialogue that's just profound. It's actually profound. And when I go back and listen to these segments, man, it's you just never know who's listening. You never know who's healing. You never know who's receiving these messages. And, they come from so many different angles. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it therapeutic. It's not an attack on any one of you.
No insults, none of that.
None of that. It's just
trying to change the game, baby.
Yeah, listen, the reality is that the world's not going to change for us. Period. We have to change. And that's just the bottom line. And in order for us to change, we have to do I think Jeff said self-realization, some self-actualization. When that young lady, after Jeffrey talked to her, she realized that, hey, I'm the problem, And even if you don't say I'm the problem, you can say, hey, this is what I'm catering to the problem. So let me at least fix what I can. If I don't decide to change what I can, then you're never gonna get any greater results. You're never gonna find
you're gonna go back to harmony. You're gonna go back to the grass is green on the other side.
Yeah, that's
go
exactly
back to blaming, pointing, and they ain't gonna get nowhere. But go ahead and give them the topic again, because I really think that they might need to get pulled back in, because again, we're about to have some fun with this.
Yeah, and I think the topic lends itself to exactly what we've been talking about all night. So here is our topic for tonight. How can we heal our minds, bodies, and souls if we are addicted to what makes us sick?
Whew. Now when I hear that all the time, number one thing you gotta recognize. And that's one of the hardest things. Recognizing
that you have a problem.
Yeah, because if you don't recognize a problem, you ain't even really understanding why you keep falling into this slump.
Yeah.
Why this sickness that somebody might claim as a sickness, you don't even know. Because you don't even recognize the problem.
Right.
And again, this is something that a lot of family members and a lot of strong people that really love you and understand you might be able to help you through.
Right.
By pointing some things out, but you got to be willing to be open to listen.
You got to be willing to
when you don't see fault in yourself, I promise you, you would denounce everything that come your way.
That's right.
There'll be good people telling you how bad you are and things that you do don't make no sense, and you're going to keep on doing them.
Keep on doing
because you're like, whatever, it ain't me.
Yeah.
It's not about putting you down. It's about being the best you. And a lot of times when people give you corrective criticism, you take it negatively.
You take it negative.
You take it where, whatever. Right. I ain't like how you was dressed anyway. What his dress got to do with your actions?
Right.
But you going to find any negative thing that you can to combat what he just said. You're fighting.
You're fighting.
Okay?
You're fighting.
And that's what people normally do.
That's right.
You're not receiving. You're fighting.
And they're fighting because they believe that in fighting, they protect themselves.
Yes.
It's self-preservation. I'm trying to protect myself from what they're saying, and I may, in some way, I think a lot of people who are addicted to whatever that makes you sick, I think they know, right? But it hurts to hear it.
Right.
It hurts for somebody else to think it.
So I lash out.
It hurts for somebody else to know it, that that you're this way. And so now I have to denounce it, and I can't have self-realization and self-actualization. I have to continue to run lying to myself. In essence, lying to myself. One of the things that really, and I want to put a stamp on this. This is important. You just said it, Jay. Okay. The first thing we got to do, so here's the subject. How can we heal our minds, bodies, and souls if we are addicted to what makes us sick? The first thing you do is you got to recognize that there is a problem. Mm-hmm. Right? And sometimes you don't recognize that you have a problem until you may hear it from several different folk in several different scenarios. If people are continuing to say the same things to you from different areas of your life and they aren't connected at all, then you need to wake up and realize that some of it is true. And if it is not true, then it is the persona that you put off, whatever that happens to be, right? But if only one or two people say it, particularly one is saying it, then you can't allow yourself to be changed by what only one person thinks.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? But it is a constructive listening and hearing and understanding. Because the person that's talking to you, I'm always a proponent of who's the messenger, right? Is the messenger someone who really cares about me? Is the messenger someone who really has my best interest in mind? And if that is the case, then I can break through that emotional, wall that I have and listen to what they have to say. Because I know they're not trying to hurt me. They're just trying to liberate me or educate me or open a door for me. So we have to recognize that there's a problem. Now, I wanted to talk for just a moment about what are people addicted to?
Oh, it's my turn. Check it out. Somebody brought something to my attention, and I knew about it, but I was talking, and I love to talk. And they brought it to my attention because I was talking, and I was like, I wake up after I've been drinking certain things, usually alcohol. Not saying I'm alcoholic by far, but a lot of times on the weekend, I drink, kick, have fun. Well, certain things now, it's starting to affect me. Okay. I'm getting older, my body's different.
Right.
So it does not do the same thing. Because before when I was young, I didn't care what I smashed. I might throw up and I'm back being me with no problem. Right. Now, it ain't about throwing out, I just don't feel right.
Right.
I feel horrible.
Right.
This person was recognizing it was like, but you still drink. And I was like, yeah, because I prayed over the porcelain goddess a long time ago and said if he got me by, I wouldn't do it again, and went right back to it. It's a sickness that you just don't understand. We all know about going up in that porcelain. Yeah. But my whole thing is watch what you put into your body, because again, it's showing you the effects of what it's doing. My effects was so harsh back then that now it's a lot different, where it affects how I'm motivated, period. Right. I am that person that I wake up and I'm high strung. Right. I got this, and that to do. When I do that, whenever I drink too much, I am not high strung in the morning. Mm-hmm. So it starts me off key.
That's a recognition benefit. I recognize that what I did is throwing my potential off the next day.
So do you continue?
That's a time to wake
naturally up. You'll be like, well, I like social lives now, but you can watch what you do.
You can watch what you do.
So a drink, proportionalize everything.
Right.
I drink more Coors Light. Coors Light is a lighter alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
One of the things I do during my show, because I do drive, I got CDL, so one of the things I do is protect my license, protect people on the road, and protect anybody that I care for. And I like to say, when you come to be in drinking liquor and drinking a lot of it, it might be fun because it suppresses you and it keeps you away from all whatever you might be going through.
Right.
You still got to face it. So the bottom line is, don't let it consume you to a point where you're addicted to it, because it's just another drug.
Right.
I don't want to be addicted to anything but love.
Right.
Okay? Because love seemed to drive me in a better place than liquor, alcohol, and drugs ever have.
Absolutely.
So again, watch what you do, and if somebody brings some things to your attention, like, well, I don't like when you drink because you just say some crazy stuff and all the rest of this. You want to lash out at them, okay? Because you say some crazy stuff too. All right, you're fighting,
right?
But are you really receiving what they're saying? Because they might be saying some things that you might want to consider. And I ain't saying immediately change, but consider, because the bottom line, change need to happen when you feel, I do not like what I just heard.
Yeah.
Now that don't mean I gotta fight the person that told me. I need to look at what I do.
I need to look at
now
myself.
that's the hardest thing you could ever do, because it's so easy to fight the person that told you that bad news. That's why people don't want to tell you nothing.
That's right.
Because all you want to do is fight the messenger.
Right.
When you need to be receptive of the messenger.
Yes.
And sometimes confront yourself.
Right.
Because it's hard to do when you're looking at yourself. It's easy to confront somebody else about what they said.
Yeah.
What about you, about what you're doing and what you said?
Yeah.
Even in drunken state, they say a drunken soul speaks the truth. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
It turns a filter off that I normally would consider your feelings before I said something.
Right.
When I get drunk, I just say it.
Right.
That is not of all goodness.
Right.
I promise you. A person that just say anything out their mouth, I am not happy with what your mind thinks, because you can think all kind of crazy crap.
Right.
Do not put that out in the atmosphere.
Do not put that in the atmosphere. That's
with
right.
you with your tongue.
Right.
Your tongue is a powerful sword.
Yeah.
And if you can't control it, I promise you, it will come get you.
That's right.
After life or at this life.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
Karma or reap what you sow. Reap what you talk.
Right.
So why don't you think about what words come out before you just reflect? So if you let alcohol speak for you, I promise you, it will come back for you.
Yeah, and it ain't got to be alcohol that gets you a sharp tongue.
It's a lot of other drugs.
It could be a bad attitude to get you a sharp tongue. And, popping off at the mouth could be something that you addicted to. And, believe it or not, it throws everything off because nobody likes it. Nobody around you likes you anymore. I know people at work who just got mouth and nobody respects them, right? And they think they're always saying something good. They think they're always trying to be the boss or helping out or whatever. But ultimately what they've done is they've ruined their environment because they've influenced their environment negatively. And they can't even see it. And even when somebody try to tell them, they just think, oh, that's just what the boss does. Doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way.
You ain't encouraging?
You got to be encouraging. I have no doubt that Bill Belichick is going to cut somebody out on the field tomorrow, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to be like, all right, now, I believe in you. I trust in you, you know what I'm saying? But I need you to make that route right. You know what I'm saying? I need you to run the route just like I call them and not like you like you run them. So some of the other things that people are addicted to, obviously drugs, alcohol, weed, cocaine, and there's crack. People are highly addicted to those.
Ice, meth.
Yeah, and those drugs will reel you in, right? A lot of those drugs will reel you in, and you don't know that they're reeling you in. In fact, you'll find yourself wanting to express yourself in one way, but you'll really be coming across to the world in a very different way. And I see it all the time, even in my dealership. People will come in there on pills or whatever, and they'll want to be trying to do business, but their eyes all glared up, and they ain't straight with the answers, and you can see it written. It's all over them. Literally, it's all over them, like you're just looking at a red ribbon on their forehead, and they don't know that that's making them sick. It's certainly killing some of their potential. What about people are addicted to strip clubs. People are addicted to
Hold on. For strip clubs and porn, let me have some fun here. Ain't that really when looking at some stuff that like to turn you out?
Are you
now,
sure?
Hold on. My whole thing is, if you're addicted to it has to be a control factor. If I like looking at it, can I look at it with the person I'm with? See, this is where you start being selfish, or you just have a fetish. You gotta switch some things up, because if you gotta watch it, you embarrassed when somebody else notice it's on your phone or somewhere else. See, to me, you're hiding it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That right there, that might be a sickness.
Yeah.
I got to do it by myself. And I got to watch it. Ooh,
yeah.
Look at that. Okay. That's where you know you might need to start looking at some things and start changing up some things. But when you, if I get a situation, I want to look at something, and I should be able to look at it with the one I'm with.
Absolutely.
Because my whole thing is, you look at that? I'll be like, yeah, sure do. You look, you see that right there? I ain't seen you do that. I ain't seen you do that. You know, she's like, well, I don't understand why you would want to watch that, because it gave me an idea which we could do. So what's that?
Right.
So at this point, it become a schooling and educational funny. As in, can we do this? Can we enjoy? I don't care to look at somebody else do everything. Yeah. My whole thing is, I wasn't able to look at porn when I was younger. So when I got older and I enjoyed looking at it, and I started seeing some crazy stuff. And some stuff I wasn't totally agreeing upon. Yeah. But now I'm older and I can choose my methods. Right. My whole thing is, if you ain't willing to look and learn and try to absorb for other reasons than just a fetish of I have to look. My thing is, I look for different reasons.
Yeah, and you know, what we're talking about here is people who are hooked on it.
Now, when I say hook,
just
understand when you gotta keep looking, you just get done having whippy, and you in the bathroom looking at it again. My whole thing is, at that point, you probably didn't really enjoy all which you was with. So yes, you can be overly addicted. My whole thing is, you can get a person to understand where you at. Yeah. Yeah. That way your addiction can be more controlled compared to when you're hiding it. When you're hiding it, it's a selfish thing, and I get more satisfaction by myself by watching it. And I don't want nobody else to watch it. Okay? That's a selfish act, but when you with somebody, at some point you gotta let some things become of y'all. You gotta let things go. Yeah. And when I really realized people are scared to do that because I don't know what she might think. But that's why people lie. Yeah, if you ever think about why you ain't want your behind whoop when you was younger, it's because you already knew you broke that lamp. You already knew you was gonna get that whooping. So what you do? I avoided that whooping by, it wasn't me, because I have other siblings, right? Bottom line, that's where lies come from. That's why people are not giving the honest truth, because I don't want you to know. I don't want you to feel my fear. I don't want you to understand where I'm at. I want to control a situation. That's why people lie.
And people are addicted to lying.
Right. And that's why they continue to do it. That's why they do it in your face. Straight up. And he can't be lying. Yes, the heck he can.
They'll lie to you right.
Because he already know. He do not want you to know. My whole thing is,
even though you already know.
You can see right through his ass.
Right.
He don't know it because he's so used to doing it. Right. His behavior. Women catch on to things quickly. My whole thing is, why don't you just understand what you're at? And then calm down. And it's hard. I promise you, it's hard to break any addiction. I don't care if drugs, alcohol, porn. And listen, it is hard. Yeah. But if you put your mind to it and understand who you with, it makes you understand you. Right. Where I don't want to lose the one I'm with, and I don't want to lose me.
Lose yourself. That's
when you get back to being more whole.
Yeah. And all
as long as you just keep it up, you'll be by yourself.
All addictions are not, detrimental to your life. Some of them can be. We talked about food and sweets.
Hold on. Food and sweets. Your ass get fat now. You say what you want. You start off skinny, and I've seen some. I got a fat girl mentality, and she eat up every damn thing, bigger than the mug. Listen, that changed the whole image of my ass of you. My whole thing is, it can be. It's a health issue.
It's a health issue.
I'm not looking at this fact you bigger than you used to be. I still love you. But when I see you eat to a point that you are sick and you won't even feel good, I already know that's a sign.
It's just got to be you just not taking care of yourself.
You're not at that point. You become a diabetic.
Like you don't.
There's a lot of stuff that can happen. Yeah. And if I don't say anything, I feel like I'm responsible.
Yeah.
If I care for you and I don't show no care for you, then I ain't even with you.
Right.
And that don't make sense to me.
So some people are, addicted to foods and sweets. Some people are addicted to lying. Some people are addicted to the limelight. Some people are addicted to money. Some people are addicted to being right. Some people are addicted to negative thinking. And all of these things are detrimental to our spirit. One One of my professors used to always say, accept all and choose best. And you just got to find a way in your own heart and mind to change your own heart and mind. That's really what it's going to come down. It comes down to how well we can analyze the situation and change it. Because if we don't change it, we know we're heading down a dark path. And we now that we've named several of the addictions, and then again, they don't have to necessarily be detrimental to your whole life, but if you always think you got to be right, if you're addicted to being right and you never can see anybody else being right, then you're always going to have a challenge in communication in your relationships, and you're probably never going to really find love. It's time to wake up so that you can become your greatest possibility. And that's what we're all about here in this show. We're going to go ahead and get ready to take a break. And when we come back, let's talk about how can we heal.
Okay.
Let's talk about the healing side. We know that there are, problems and issues. Let's talk about some ways that we can begin to heal and overcome this addiction that is making us sick.
Oh, this is going to be the good part, y'all. Y'all might really want to tune in. And for all the ones just coming in, I'm telling you, this Bar Talk with Jay, this is about relationships, and we're trying to improve your life. It's not about us telling you what to do. It's about giving you another way of looking at what you're doing. That's all we try to do. Week after week after week, give it to them, DJ Craftmatic.
And we'll be right back right after this.
Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay. Again, I had to say to all my ones out there, all the platforms that we're doing, I appreciate you. From the Meet Me.
Yes, we do.
From all the Periscopes,
Thank you
Instagram.
So yes.
I am trying to hit every platform I can.
Yes.
Why? Because again, this is something that it's important to me, but I want to make sure it reach out to you. And that's why I love about technology, because I'm finding out with that, we can make things change.
Right.
I don't want to be like somebody else that I see just doing any old thing just because I can. I have more in me. All right. And I really feel like anybody can go on Facebook and go live. Put substance behind your action.
Yes.
Do not just do it because you want fame. Understand about fame and understand about fortune.
Right.
People will pay for a good source.
Yes.
You run after money, and you're going to keep on running because you don't even know what you're running after. My whole thing is if you don't enjoy what you do, you don't love what you do, you'll probably stop doing what you do.
Right.
I've been doing a lot of things for a very long time, and it is you. That's called your drive. Get back to your drive and love what you do, and then people will love you.
Yes.
And then it ain't fake. It ain't a facade.
Right.
Because if I'm paying for it, and I promise you, I pay for it. It costs. But if you do it, and you do it with love, I don't mind paying for it. So when it pays me, I still continue. Because it's not me chasing money. It's just money finally paid me up for what I already invested in.
Yes.
I invested in something different.
Yes.
I didn't see it. I wasn't hearing it. And I wanted to do it.
Right.
And I will applaud every great pioneer in front of me. From the Malcolm X, Martin Luther Kings, to Martin Payne even. Steve Harvey and all other comedians that did things in groundbreaking fashion.
Yes.
My whole thing is I ain't following them. I'm following my own heart. Because they followed theirs, they made their name, I'm making mine.
Right.
And that's what I'm asking you. Because when you sit next to the one you with, you be like, I don't feel like I'm important.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Everybody's important. Are you willing to work?
Right.
Are you willing to put forth the effort that he put in you to show everybody? It ain't going to be easy. I can tell you all day long. I had bad days, sad days, I had days that wasn't the greatest. But guess what? He woke me up.
Right.
He let me know. I ain't telling you just because you do this, it's going to be gravy.
Right.
The number one thing, are you willing to put in the work? Then I met people like Booby that did great things and went through a hell of a lot of stuff. And I say, you know something, what you went through, I can't compare. Why? Because why am I comparing his life to mine? Bottom line, he's willing to come with me and make this ride. Then I meet Craftmatic, spiritual. brother that's willing to uplift you ain't willing to judge you. Whoa, listen, ain't willing to judge you. Number one thing that's a problem today. If they ain't with me, they judge me. That's a lie. Everybody ain't always about judging. And when I recognized him, it was just like that. Are you willing to be open and acceptive of what's around you? Are you willing to be judgmental of everything that's with you? Well, only thing I can tell you is why you being so damn judgmental. Who the hell are you? What makes you ruler over everybody else that you feel like I can judge and criticize and put everything down when you know you ain't got it all?
When you know you're doing wrong yourself.
Guaranteed not to have it all. He made sure you had a handicap. It's like golf.
We all got one. That's right.
It's like golf. They're going to give you a handicap so you can understand the game.
Right.
Do you understand what you're playing? If you understand what you're playing, then you understand your handicap and you understand how to play the game better.
Right.
But instead, everybody want to talk. Everybody want to judge because I don't want you to understand I got a handicap. I have one. I don't trip on my handicap. I love on my passion. That's going to show you in my drive. So come on, fool with us, Bar Talk with Jay. You'll find out everybody here got a drive that will take you out of this world.
Right.
I'm telling you, we got a little spaceship. We float up.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out when I come down. They don't know about this here, Grant.
You ain't coming down. You ain't coming down.
I'm just telling you, it ain't going to be easy.
So tonight's topic, folks, we're talking about how can we heal our minds, bodies, and souls if we are addicted to what makes us sick. And addicted to what makes us sick can be so many things, and oftentimes it's just about how you assess your own life. It's about how you assess your own situation. Is this thing that you're doing or not doing hurting you? Some people are addicted to procrastination, right?
Yeah.
And so what you're not doing could be hurting you.
Right.
And you always got an excuse. You always got a story to tell. You're always late. You never get ahead of the curve. You're always broke. It's just some things that, and there are people who are addicted to being broke. Right? They can't see outside of being broke. Right? They can't see outside of not having this particular problem in their life. And again, we all have our thorns to bear, right? We all have issues. Well, none of us are perfect, but there's probably something that is holding us all a little back. There's probably that one or two things that is not allowing you to reach your full potential. And you all know what it is. We all know what it may be. And we're asking you to ask yourself, how can I heal that? How can I heal that portion of my mind, my body, and my soul? This thing has been perhaps plaguing me for years. I've been stuck doing it for years. I've done it over and over and over again, so much that I've talked myself out of thinking that it is a problem in it at all, right? And yet, as much as I'm thinking it's not a problem, if my child does it, or if I see my coworker doing it, or if I see somebody doing it out on the street, I immediately judge them as unfit people to be around. And yet they're doing the exact same thing that you are doing. So in this awareness, this self-awareness, this opportunity for self-realization and self-actualization, we're talking about how do you heal yourself over what you perceive are your own faults. And it not, oftentimes we'll get a lot of information from the outside that says, hey, you seem to be doing this, you seem to be doing that. Right. But when you look at it and say, yeah, man, I think that's a problem, the question becomes, how do I fix it?
Right.
And, that's a loaded gun question. But I know that prayer works. Okay. I know that if you feel like something is controlling you, something you can't say no to, something is getting in your way, something is trying to stifle you, if you ask the Lord for strength to overcome it, if you ask the Lord to take it away from you, if you ask the Lord to heal you of it, that He will come to your rescue. He will come and prepare your mind to be healed. Sometimes the very thing that you are engaged in, maybe you're addicted to worrying, maybe you're addicted to cocaine, whatever it is, but both of them, neither one of them will allow you to sleep at night. So now you need to ask the Lord for a peaceful night's rest. And if you don't know the power of prayer, you are missing an infinite amount of power and potential to heal yourself and your life. And so, sometimes that just takes, type in Google, prayers to overcome drug addiction, prayers to overcome, a gossip spirit, prayers to stop lying, prayers to, to overcome negative thinking, prayers to overcome dealing with, being money hungry or porn or greed or whatever that happens to be for you. Prayer is going to be a major, major effort. It is a major effort to overcome the problem. Because when you start asking for answers, when you start asking, see, that's what prayer does. It may not absolutely reveal the healing, but it'll give you an opportunity to ask for the healing. It gives you an opportunity to recognize where you want to be. If you say, heal me of this smoking, then you're telling God that I want to stop smoking. And I'm asking God to help me stop smoking, or help me do this, or help me get a better relationship with my family, or help me stop making excuses, or help me get a good job, or help me stop being broke, and help me stop, being addicted to sweets, and, why am I addicted to porn? You got to ask God, you got to ask the universe some questions that are going to create the opportunity for profound change in your life. Because when you ask for help, guess what God's going to do? The very next day at work, you're going to overhear somebody talking about how they overcame their story, their hurdle, their problem. God's going to put somebody or something in your path that's going to be a deliverance to what you just asked for. And if you recognize that I can ask for things and God will start to help me and organize my mind and my thoughts, you really are sitting on the fountain of youth. Right? Sometimes you might need to ask others for help. I think that if you sit in your own bubble, it's hard to heal yourself. It's hard to heal your own mind when you just entertain your own thoughts.
It can be, but I'm going to tell you. I was addicted to porn myself, okay? And I ain't really go to nobody and tell nobody, but I was. And one of the things I realized is why I was addicted, because I had so many tapes. I had friends that was porn too. And they used to go and rent them, and they'd burn them. So we had a club.
Right.
So so-and-so went over here, he rented so. I had a collection of maybe 100 and some pornos, of all different types.
Okay.
Now what I realized,
it's not uncommon.
I was more just looking at certain ones. Then I had a friend that like animals and stuff. Yeah, he messed me all up, bro. I was like, hold on. Nah, I ain't into this, we don't deal with that. So we had to leave his stuff. Yeah, you keep that. I want that. So then you see somebody else and their fetishes is different than yours. So what I realized is I had a preference on certain ones that I like to watch. And they didn't have one. So I'm getting a big, vast collection that I ain't care for. So after a while, I had other people that was into it. So I let them borrow. I had books of 50 CDs, 2-3 hours long. They ain't read them out. Just give them to them. And I'm going to put this person out there. I can give his name. Borrowed my stuff. He ain't gave it back. Now, I asked him about it. And he was like, oh, I want to get it. But I ain't never got it back.
Yeah.
Because see, somebody comes in your life to take away what you didn't need, because I already knew there were certain things in it I ain't even care for no more. Right. But he took the whole thing away. But don't get me wrong. He's still wrong for what he did. Because again, that's not what you really do. But guess what? I was blessed with it.
And so
I didn't have to go back for it.
What turned the corner? What broke
turned it really
addiction?
to me is I'm watching. I'm not really, but I'm watching. And my whole thing is, I was infatuated with the sight, but the whole thing is, I appreciated the people. I appreciate the loving. I love the fact that I love women. I love women to a point where I watched it because I wasn't able to watch it when I was young, but then when I was able to start doing it, and I was able to make love, and I started finding love within a person, it made me stop looking at a person on a video and start looking at a person in front of me.
Right.
Because at that point, they became more important than what my fetish was.
Yeah.
My fetish was just not knowing that I can meet a person that can get my mind attracted than the movie. Because the movie kept playing and I could see different ones and I could have fun, but I had nobody in front of me.
Right.
So when you get somebody in front of you that can get your attention in the right way, you have to give up some things. And my whole thing is I give it up all day long because I care for the person in front of me, because that person just showed me interest where a movie would never show me interest. It's just got my attention.
Yeah, the point I like in all of that is that if you are suffering from something, you cannot be alone. You have to be around other people. Other people can kind of hold you accountable passively, even though you may position them in a place where they can hold you accountable because you don't want them to see what you're doing. But that's kind of what Jay is saying, that hey, I found somebody that changed my life, made me less interested in the thing that I knew was hurting me. Asking for help is a great way.
It was, but I didn't ask for help.
You didn't ask, but you received help.
She put it on me.
See, you got a praying mother, so I know.
Oh man, she might have prayed it away, but I promise you, the girl that I met, she put it on me. Ain't no need to watch it when you can do it, Graham.
About healing him.
Oh, it was healing. It was sexual healing. You know, a lot of times, and I'm having fun with it, but I tell you all day long, I'm watching. You ain't really doing it, okay? And then you meet a person that's willing to do to you what you've been seeing for a long time. It made me realize I watched, but I didn't understand. Okay, I had a fetish. And a lot of time on a fetish, you wouldn't really understand what a fetish is until you get caught up. And I'm watching, I'm like, yo, I'm all into this what it is. Yeah. And then I found other people got fetish too.
Right.
And that's when I found their fetish ain't the same as mine. Right. And that's what I told you, the movies, when we all got together and I'm like, yo, these are my movies I got this week, and they showing me they movie, oh no, hey, dude, what the hell you just sent me? I ain't watching it. So now I'm realizing our fetishes are different, okay? But when I met a person that got my mind to realize that a person can do the same thing to what you've been watching, my whole thing is I ain't always had that great interaction.
Yeah, and
it changed the whole dynamic.
Yeah, the other reality I would imagine is that all of that ain't necessary.
It really wasn't, you know? But guess what? It soothes the beast.
Yeah.
When I'm a hyper person.
Yeah.
So when I'm able to get my mind settled, it settled me.
Yeah.
But it was a choice because that's something I'd rather do than drugs and other stuff, okay?
Right.
A fetish is a fetish.
Right.
And I use that as a fetish because it kept me from doing other things. And bottom line is I didn't focus on other great things, okay?
Yeah.
And when I got a person that showed me that they can do some good things too, it made me lose that interest and pick up a better interest. And understanding the person that you're with, it changes your whole life.
Yeah.
But are you willing to open up? Bottom line, I opened up to a regular fetish because it was non-interactive. I can watch it, it didn't have to mess with me because they didn't know me. They didn't even know I was watching it. But when you interact with another person, it opens you up to vulnerability. And my whole thing, I wasn't voting over here because they didn't bother me. I watched it when I wanted to. It bothered me when I watched some stuff I didn't care to see because somebody gave me some bull because that was their fetish. Their fetish didn't fit mine. So guess what? I pushed that away. But it made me realize it was just a fetish because I can push that away, but I couldn't push my own away. Yes, I could. I could push anything away.
Absolutely.
But then when I met that person and they showed me, oh my God, it changed my life.
There you go. And man, that's healing words. You folks stay tuned. We're going to our last break. We're going to come back and close this show out with a bang.
What?
And hope you enjoy this track. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, Bar Talk with Jay. Yeah, we got the smooth sounds of my man Craftmatic back in the building. Yes, we doing this.
Yes,
one
sir.
of the things I want to make sure I tell y'all, we're gonna go a little bit over because we started a little bit late. One of the things I'm trying to make sure y'all understand is we want to make sure y'all feel good about what we're trying to say. And I feel compelled to let you know about one of my fetishes that I just revealed a minute ago. Let me tell you about some of the fetishes where it can do for you though. By me watching and realizing that porn ain't where I really want to star in, is one of the things that I want to make sure I can please a person in. Because a lot of times when you watch something, you wonder why you watch it, because again, I wasn't always doing it. I didn't start off young having sex. And I don't care to say that, because I tell you, I grinded, okay? I was that person that wasn't out there trying to get anybody pregnant. I wasn't doing all that crap. Because my mom was on my behind. All right, but my whole thing is I was in tuning with a person, and that's why I love conversation, because I'll just vibe. Mm-hmm. But certain people just want to do it, and let me tell you something about just doing it. When you're done with the act, did you connect with the person? Because truthfully, if you really communicated, you touched the person before you ever did the act. I was touching people without sex for a very long time. The problem is we're so interactive where we gotta have what we want, and we want certain things that you forget the interaction to get you to that point. No one, it's quick. It's swipe left, swipe right. Who's talking to you? Who's fulfilling you? Who's encouraging you? Who's asking you where your motivation is? It wasn't porn that taught me that, I promise you. Porn just taught me about sexual activity, and I'm like, yo, I want that sexual activity, but I didn't start early with it. But the bottom line is I want it, but then it taught me that I knew something bigger than it. So when I pushed away from watching it all the time and getting with a person and doing it with a person that cared for my behind, it changed my whole life.
Yeah.
Things change when you least expect it. You didn't even know what things was necessary. I didn't even know that sometimes you can have an addiction, and an addiction just help you understand yourself a little bit better.
And listen,
that's just life.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point I wanted to make here as we start to wrap up this show, is that oftentimes the addictions, whether they be extreme or minor, come from life pressures. That the addiction is something that makes you feel like it's you have coping skills. Right? Like when you come home from a hard day, immediately you hit the bottle. Right? You come home from a hard day, you immediately get something sweet. You stressed out, you worried, you just had a heated conversation with your boss or best friend or mama or whatever. The first thing you do is you want to smoke. You know what I mean? A lot of these issues that we are dealing with.
Bless you, man.
Excuse me. You could come from real life pressures. And so Barbara has put together a list, a list of ways to balance the mind, body, and soul. And I think each one of these adds so much validity to the overall expression of life. The first one, she says, we need to read and learn often. A lot of times we're stagnated in life because we don't have any new information. Right? We don't have any new ideas flowing through our head about business, about our personal life, about our world, about whatever we happen to be interested in. If we're learning new information, we stay excited about life. If we're excited about life, it has a tendency to lead us away from having these dependency addictions. I don't have to depend on the addiction because I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm stimulated by self and about wisdom and about knowledge and about learning something about myself and my life. Reading can do a lot of great things for your mind. If you're ever going to be prosperous in life, you have to read a lot. It's just the way life works. And I think that dollars are equal to growth sometimes.
I agree.
Growth and drive. So read and learn often.
I go with B.
Stop.
What? Stop people pleasing.
Stop
people pleasing. Number one thing with this one is, a lot of times you like to be the limelight, you like to be the person in front of everybody, but when you're doing that, you might be out of character.
Yes.
And that right there will be your downfall. People pleasing is not wise. Why? Because you don't even know how to really please everybody.
Right.
So you're going to have to act out when you don't know. And that's where I don't like. My whole thing is, if I'm being me, and you're good with me, then we're good with each other.
Right.
But if I gotta act out a character to please you, I'm just a character.
Right.
I'm a juster. I'm a person that's need to be dismissed because at that point, I'm just entertainment. It's more to me than that.
And it, those things, people pleasing, they have a tendency to be self-defeating, right? Because you did something that you didn't want to do, and now you feel bad, right?
Knowing you didn't want to do.
Right. What you said was yes to the answer, but you really wanted to say no and the hell with you. But because you didn't, now you got some inner anxiety. Now when you get home, you got to have a couple of drinks before you calm down, right? Now you're dependent on the drinks because you didn't speak up for yourself. And if you had spoke up for yourself, you probably wouldn't have an urge to go home and get that drink, right? Mm-hmm. So they're all interconnected. She says, laugh more.
I like that one.
Laugh more. And sometimes I force feed laughing. I got this favorite Pandora station of Richard Pryor, and one for Eddie Murphy and one for Red Fox. And when I put them on,
Kevin Hart,
he got
Kevin Hart got this whole too.
Man, listen, I'll listen to that anytime I find myself challenged, in my mindset or feeling down or whatever, which is rare. But I love comedies, so I'll put it on for that reason. But laughing changes the game. It'll just make you feel better.
Crap, don't worry. I'm gonna get my own. I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna get my own segment.
You'll get your own?
I'm gonna get my own.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. I got some jokes for you.
You do have your own.
I'm telling you, I got some issues.
Yeah, you do have it on. How about this? Avoid gossip and drama.
That's easy. Because you get drawn into it because you listen to somebody else and you feel like you want to add to.
Right.
That one right there I see all the time. But I don't see no value in it. I mean, I see the TV. And I understand everybody want to gossip off the TV, but my whole thing is, do I add any value to you?
Right.
See, I see something that's negative. This is me. If I watch something that's negative, and I've seen a movie not long ago, and it was very negative to me. I ain't gonna name the movie because I don't want to put negative light to anything. But I watched it, didn't like it. Didn't like it worth a dang. Talked to the person that I watched the movie with, and I said, I ain't like it. But that don't mean I'm gonna put it down. I found out it did great. Just because it did great don't mean it did something for me.
And vice versa.
I missed a lot of things, but I don't have to put nothing down. Now, gossip is me going out and telling everybody how I feel. My whole thing is that's my perception of what I felt.
Yes.
And I might have missed a punchline that everybody else caught.
Yes.
Watch what you say and what you do.
Yeah.
If you really feel a certain way, that don't mean you need to talk and tell everybody
that don't mean
come across your mind.
Yeah.
Stop that and realize that I can say I seen it and I didn't feel it.
Right.
All right.
Right.
That ain't putting it down. I didn't feel it, and then they can tell you about what they grabbed from it. So now I have a different feeling because they said something that made me want to go back and watch it again. And at that point, I'll be like, something, I seen something different. Will Smith movies did these things to me, where I watched it and I was just enjoying it. But it had polemical messaging behind it.
Right.
And I had to go back and see it. And I was like, wow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
So quit being so judgmental because it ain't where you want it to be.
Yeah.
Because some people got bigger vision.
Yeah, and I say, if it ain't about you and yours, stop talking about it. I hear conversation every once in a while and people are trying to justify other people. Now, you say, well, how can this person do this, that, and the other, and expect them to get the result or a promotion? I can't even understand how they think like that. Like, stop contemplating their thought process. Because you can see that they're engaged in foolish activity, and it ain't gonna make no sense. Ain't no good ever gonna come out of it. Why are you talking about it? Why are you using your energy, your mind to contemplate what fools are doing and talking about? Stop doing it. All you're doing is basically involved in some form of drama and gossip yourself, right? It makes you sound gossipy, even sometimes to hear it, right? Here's a big one. Ways to balance the mind, body, and soul. Forgive yourself of past mistakes. We don't forgive ourselves enough. And, we've all done some really bad things, and we've all maybe hurt some people's feelings, and we've all, missed some opportunities. You got to let go of that past and forgive yourself of those mistakes that you made. You now recognize that they were a mistake. Take ownership of it as a mistake, and then move on with your life. But if you don't forgive yourself of past mistakes, you're going to find yourself having so much inner stress that you start to lean on worldly things to keep you up, right? You start to lean on foods, or you start to lean on porn and strip clubs, or you start to lean on drugs, you start to lean on on lying in some cases, right? You won't need to lean on those things if you forgive yourself, right?
I like cutting major sources of stress out of your life.
Yes.
When you really look at that right there is profound.
Yeah.
Because what upsets you, and you keep letting it upset you, makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense.
If you come to me with foolish talk, foolish ways, and I keep letting that bother me,
right,
I'm allowing you to do this.
Right.
At one point, I got to tell you, I don't hear that. I don't believe in that.
Right.
I rebuke that.
Right.
And again, people get offended sometimes, but bottom line, you're bringing me negative energy about something that I know I have no control over.
Right.
Nor do you.
Nor do you.
But you want to involve me. And people do it all the time. Jay, what's your opinion of this? And Jay, what you want? Don't bring me into every negative circumstance to make me feel like I have to be a source of positive when you know you can be as well.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is I want to encourage you to be the best you while you playing with me. Right. It's like, I want to see what you got to say. Because you can't think for yourself.
Right.
I don't
want to be involved in that negative conversation. I don't have to, I don't want to really talk about negative stuff. And so, that's a great point. Cut major sources of stress out of your life. And sometimes that means people. Sometimes that just means putting the brakes on certain conversations. Sometimes that just means being quiet and not participating. But get rid of the stress, whatever it happens to be. How about this? Listen to music often. Music is just healing to the soul.
It totally
soothe the soul.
The beast.
Yes. That's a big one. How about being grateful?
Yes.
Right? Gotta find time for gratitude. Maybe every night, say 3 things that you're grateful for. Every night before you go to sleep, just think about 3 things that you're grateful for. If you can't do it at night because you're too busy, then do it in the morning. The first thing you do when you wake up, what are the 3 most grateful things and things that I'm grateful for today? And you'll find that something happens. See, what you recognize as good in your life
will multiply.
It'll magnetize in your life. Mm-hmm. Right?
I know.
It'll absolutely magnetize and multiply in your life. How about meditate regularly? Is another major one. Fuel your passions. Fuel your passions. If you like going to the ball games, go to the ball games. If you like shooting pool, shoot pool. If you like taking bubble baths, take bubble baths. If you like, having picnics, have a picnic. Fuel your passions. Listen, folks, and we've only got just a couple of minutes here before it's time to close, but my point here is that there are things that will force you out of your natural behavioral style. The pressures of life, how much money you need to pay tomorrow's bills, how you look when you look at yourself in the mirror, what people are saying to you or about you, how you getting treated in the world. There's all kinds of things that create pressures in your life. And if you don't find a way to balance the mind and body and soul, if you don't refuel your passions and forgive yourself and stop pleasing others and read and learn and avoid gossip, if you don't do these things, then it forces you to a secondary behavior where you are dependent on a substance. You're dependent on food. You're dependent on the approval of other people. You're dependent on a certain amount of money to be alive and to live with zest. Don't let the life pressures force you into some form of addiction. Find a way to heal your mind, heal your body, and first and foremost, one in one, all in all, prayer. Pray more. How'd you close that out, Jay?
Only thing I can tell you is, again, what we're trying to do is give you a different way of looking at things. Again, if you're spiritual, or if you're Christian, Catholic, it really doesn't matter. Bottom line is, can you understand you? Can you look at yourself in a different way? Mm-hmm. Biggest problem today is you feel like I gotta listen to a person of me. Don't look at a person of me, of your kind, of your color. It is this understanding of you.
Yes, understanding of you.
Do you understand you?
Listen, I think that's a great way to close out this show. And no other powerful. Do you understand you? Find some ways to understand you. Take ownership of your life, and God will show you how to fix the things that challenge you. We love you, folks. This is Bar Talk with Jay. Again, I'm Craftmatic. This is my boy.
Oh, Jay.
And with that, folks, we love you. We appreciate you being with us, and we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.